Hi everyone! Today I'm going to be reading a book called Rose and Sebastian. So here's the cover, and let's get started. Okay. Rose lives in an apartment in New York City. From her window she can see cars, dogs, people, airplanes, and delivery vans. Sometimes she can see fire engines. Across the park she can see the elevated train. In winter she sees a snowplow. In summer she sees the ice cream man. In summer, the fountain across the street turns on, and she can see that too. All of these things make noise. Honk, honk, ruff, ruff, chatter, bang, whoosh, whoosh, ring-a-ling, swish, swish. But nothing makes more noise than Sebastian. He lives upstairs. When Rose was smaller than she is now, she wasn't afraid of cars honking and dogs barking or the ice cream man. She was afraid of Sebastian. When Rose was smaller than she is now, she couldn't say Sebastian, so instead she said Martian. Everyone thought this was very funny. When Sebastian's friend Pete heard about it, he fell down laughing in the elevator. Still, he didn't make as much noise as Sebastian. Zooey, 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 went the noise over Rose's head when she was eating her lunch. That? She asked her mother. That's just Sebastian, said her mother. Arg, 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 Rose heard while she was taking her bath. She jumped right out of the tub and ran down the hall without a towel. That? Asked Rose when her mother caught up with her. Oh, it's just Sebastian, said her mother. Scared, said Rose. Then she got into her pajamas. Tapat, 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 tapat. It was a rainy Saturday, and Rose was listening to the wet song the rain was singing on the window. She was building a city out of these blocks. Zooey, 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 came the noise from upstairs. Oh my goodness, that's Sebastian, said Rose's mother. But that day, Rose, who was feeling brave, looked at the ceiling where there was an eensy water spot in the shape of the cloud and said, I want to see. You want to see Sebastian? Asked her mother. Yes, said Rose. Rose's mother called Sebastian's mother on the telephone and asked if Rose could come and visit before supper. All afternoon, while Rose drew pictures and read books and finished her city, whenever she heard, Zooey, 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 she looked up at the ceiling and said, soon. At 5 o'clock, Rose and her mother took the elevator upstairs to visit Sebastian. The door to Sebastian's apartment was blue, just like Rose's door. Knock, said Rose's mother. Rose knocked. The door opened. There was Sebastian. Hi, Rose, he said. Rose was very quiet. But not Sebastian. Zooey, 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 yelled Sebastian as he raced down the hall. Arg, arg, arg! He growled at the mirror on the bathroom door, sticking out his tongue and showing his teeth at the same time. Rose started to laugh. Thunk, 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 went Sebastian's basketball as it bounced on the kitchen floor. Roll it back, Rose, said Sebastian. Rose rolled the ball back. Then Sebastian showed her his toy forest, his cat, Long-Ears, and his new helicopter. Even though it was time for supper, Rose's mother and Sebastian's mother had tea, and everyone had some delicious cake with raisins in it. Then it was time to go. Zooey, 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 yelled Rose the minute she got home. Arg, 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 she growled at the bathroom mirror, sticking out her tongue and trying to show her teeth at the same time. Then she looked in the mirror, and she smiled. Thunk, 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 came the noise from upstairs when Rose sat down to eat her supper. Woo, 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 Martian, shouted Rose, shaking her spoon at the ceiling. Scared? Asked her mother. No, said Rose. That night, after she had had her bath and had her bedtime drink, and her mother had sang her a good-night song, Rose lay in her bed, listening. Upstairs there was one tiny bang, then another. Good night, Martian, Rose shouted. Woo, 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 woo! And Sebastian, who was just getting ready for bed, was so surprised that his mother had to tuck him in, 3 times that night before he could really fall asleep. The end. Thank you so much.